If you clicked on this video, chances are you've already probably seen dozens of creators talking about a sea of AI tools used to generate leads and help you close more deals for your business. However, I'm one of the few creators that has actually tested out each of these AI models specifically for cold email copywriting. And if there's one tool that I absolutely have to recommend, it's Claude. And I know this because in every single cold email campaign that we run for our clients, we use Claude as a fundamental pillar. The best part is that it's helping us book over 150 sales meetings every single month. So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you step by step how you can use Claude to write the perfect scripts. And I'm also gonna show you how you can do this at scale to write personalized one-to-one emails to every prospect on your lead list using clay.com. All right, so jumping into the video here, as you could see from my screen, we've got two browsers open. On the left-hand side, we've got a cheat sheet that we're gonna be using for prompts to feed to Claude. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, we've got Claude itself that's gonna write the cold emails for us. I'm logged in from my business partner Troy's account. But one thing that I do want to mention is we like to take an extra step before we actually start using Claude, and that's for Perplexity, which is another AI model that we like to use that's really good for deep research. And we like to use Perplexity to actually do deep research on the offer itself or the client that we're going to be bringing the offer to the market for to figure out who their ideal client persona is. And so if you're doing this type of workflow for your own business yourself, you could probably skip that first step. The main things that we want to collect with this deep research or company overview is to figure out the ideal customer profile. We want to figure out what their core offer is, and then we also want to find out some case studies that we could use to write those scripts. So I've actually written out the prompts that we're going to feed to Perplexity for the company overview and the deep research on the ideal customer profile. And what that prompt looks like is conduct deep research on open water. So in this case, I'm doing a random example. The company is called Open Water. I want to know who is the ideal client persona, what their core offering is, and what case studies they have with clients. Please be sure to provide the case studies in simple sentences. And so what that ended up giving me was an output in Perplexity, which basically just gave me what I had just mentioned, the ideal client persona. So it shows different, industries or niches that we can go after. It outlines the core offer that Open Water has to bring to the market. And then it also outlines case studies performed by Open Water, clients that they've had success stories with. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy and paste this whole prompt right here. And so with Claude now, I've broken it out into a couple of different steps here. And we have part one, which is going to be around us actually coming up with those cold email scripts themselves. But part one is broken out into 3 different tasks. The first task is really just to figure out the ideal customer profile. So we're going to be using the output and the research from Perplexity. We're going to feed it to Claude here, and it's going to come up with the ICP identification. So what the role is for Claude is to act as a senior sales strategist and expert business analyst who specializes in identifying clear ICP profiles for cold outreach. You're clearly identifying who an ICP that we should be targeting with in a target industry and persona for Open Water, which is a B2B SaaS company designed for associations, nonprofits, and member-based organizations, particularly for managing competitive application and review processes like awards programs for associations' annual conferences. And so basically what we want Claude to do right now is come up with a couple of different profiles that we could be reaching out to and coming up with segmented different angles that we could use for cold email outreach. So I'm going to plug that in here, and then Claude is going to get to work on coming up with what that ideal customer profile is. And it's going to give me a couple of different examples. And then we're going to take one of those examples and ask Claude to then go out and create offers and then cold email scripts that we could present to that specific ICP profile. So if we're looking at the output now, ICP profile for Open Water, targeting awards program decision makers. So the primary ICP is going to be association program directors. And then for the organization types, we could see professional and trade associations with the strong need for award management solutions. We can also see some more information on the job titles that we should be reaching out to, the key pain points that we should be going after, buying triggers, decision makers, yada, yada, yada. So it gives you a whole bunch of different information around it. And it even gives the primary ICP, the secondary ICP. So right over here, the secondary ICP is the higher education program administrators. We're going to focus on ICP number 1, which is the primary DMs, decision makers that we should be going after. which is association program directors for trade and professional associations. So now coming on to part 1 of the Claude prompts, task 2 is we're going to have Claude go and now create some unique offers based off of this ICP profile that we're going after, which is going to be awards program directors of association and trade of professional and trade associations, excuse me. And so now I have another prompt over here where I'm asking Claude, act as a sales strategist and expert copywriter who specializes in crafting high conversion offers for cold emails. You're creating offers for Open Water, B2B SaaS organization that helps professional and trade association awards program directors manage competitive application and review processes like awards programs and annual conferences. And we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it right down here. And now this is not asking Claude to go and write the emails themselves. This is just asking Claude to just do the baseline and give us some offers that we could potentially use for our cold emails. So now Claude has come through and it's given a couple of variations of different offers that we could bring to the market. So free consultation and ROI assessment, book a free 30-minute call to see how other associations like yours increase award submissions by 40% while cutting admin time in half. Number 2, a benchmark report with a case study or an awards program health check. So again, these are all unique angles that I really probably wouldn't have thought of. Hey guys, quick pause here. I've got to ask, if you are enjoying my content and if you think that the cold email knowledge that I'm spilling out to you guys is valuable, then please, please, please make sure to click the subscribe button below, subscribe to my channel, make sure to like this video and then comment your thoughts below. And that way I'll know what I'm doing is working and I'll keep on giving you guys the best cold email sauce that I could possibly deliver. And now that brings us into the Claude part 1, task 3, which is actually having Claude go out and write cold emails. And in order for this to work effectively, because Claude will go out and it'll give you anything it could possibly think of. But what we like to do is we like to train the Claude algorithm to use scripts that we've already run before that have worked well across other businesses. And we want them to use those templates and then plug in all of the information that we got from the deep research and our preliminary conversation with Claude itself here that I'm showing you in this video. So now the last prompt for Claude is going to be to act as a senior sales strategist, sounds familiar, an expert copywriter who specializes in short, high conversion B2B cold emails. You're writing for Open Water and then tells Claude who Open Water is. Your tone should feel casual and conversational, like you're chatting with a smart revenue executive or business owner at a crowded trade show. Be direct, curious, and confident without being salesy. Now that part is so important because if you do not be specific on the tonality that you want or how you want to frame this message, Claude will go and it'll write these great emails, but they're going to sound like they were written by AI. And the thing is, the person on the other end of the screen could probably smell that itself. And just like you've seen some from AI generic written emails, if you don't teach it how to write it, then it's not going to know how to write it. And your customers or prospects, potential customers, they're going to see that and they're not going to like it. And so what we do here for the last task is we essentially want Claude to go out and write emails based off of email templates that we have used before that we know work well. And so at the end of that prompt, we say general strong templates that you can use below. And we're giving it three different styles of templated emails that we've used that we know are going to work. And we want Claude to basically use all the inputs and the information that we've given it to come up with unique angles based off of the ICP that we've determined and based off of these emails and all the context that was included beforehand. So now I paste this and Claude is going to get to work. B2B cold email templates for Open Water. And so now it's given template 1, template 2, template 3. And it even gives a couple more, but I only want templates 1, 2, and 3 because I didn't want it to give extra ones. But what we're going to do now is we're going to copy and paste the cold emails that Claude had written for us, and we're going to put it in our cheat sheet doc over here. Reason being is we want to see if these are actually good emails or if we want to tweak anything. And let's just go through them right now. So email 1, are your award submissions stalled while you juggle spreadsheets and change down judges? I don't really like that. Let's change it to how much time is your team wasting on spreadsheets and Google Docs and prep for your annual awards program. And so you'll want to tweak these a little bit because, again, you're going to know better than Claude will. And I like to do this because I don't want to just take what AI is giving me. I want to tweak it, make it better. Our awards management platform helps associations reduce their admin time by 75%. Curious to see a 5-minute demo of how we're streamlining awards programs for American markets. So I want to give a more value-packed call to action instead of pushing for a demo right away. I want to give some sort of more value before asking because people get pitched emails all the time. So I'd probably rather say, so what's the case study here? SHRM. I put together a human resource awards playbook outlining how societies increase submissions by 30% plus on average from our software. Mind if I share it with you here? All right, let's see email 2. We've heard from other association program directors that managing judge assignments and tracking submissions is their biggest headache during award session. Found later. Imagine launching your awards program on Monday and having a fully mind if sure. 3 associations like, all right, that's good. If we could double your award submissions and eliminate 80% of your manual work in 45 days without disrupting your current program timeline, would that be interesting? This is really freaking good. Our platform is handling 10,000 plus awards. Love to show you how similar organization. Quick call to explore. Now let's change this to if you share your current judging program workflow, I'll have my engineer team put together a mock judging demo for you to test out live. Sound fair? Again, I'm just kind of freeballing here, but again, we want to have a good value impacted email, but then we also want to make the call to action very value packed because one of these organizations ends up signing up and that could be $100,000 plus contract for this type of business if we're running emails for them. So now we've got 3 different emails, 3 different styles. What we want to do is we want to now have Claude go out and Spintax these emails for us. If you don't know what Spintax is essentially a spam spoofing trick that you can do where essentially instead of sending the same email thousands of different times, you're basically sending the same message, same offer, and you're sending the same thing just in a whole bunch of different variations so that email service providers like Google or Microsoft don't spot out that you're sending the same email thousands of times. Because if they do, they're going to easily spot that, mark you or flag your account and mark you as spam, and then all of your emails are going to go to spam. So you really want to spoof and trick all these servers to make it seem like you're sending one-to-one custom email offers. And how we could do that is simple. You just take what you got from you just take these emails, you plug it into Claude, and then you just tell Claude to Spintax it for you. So Spintax these emails. And now Claude will go and it'll Spintax these emails and it's writing it for me. And it's literally giving me these same exact emails, just thrown out a whole bunch of different ways. And then you could then plug this into your email sequencing tool so that you could start sending these emails to all of your prospects. Now, one thing that I really want to mention is that this workflow is incredibly powerful and works really well if you're reaching out to a very targeted and specific persona. Oftentimes it isn't the case. You only have a limited or finite amount of prospects that you could reach out to that fit a specific profile. So if you want to actually be able to automate a workflow like this and be able to send it to thousands and thousands of prospects so that your emails speak one-to-one and craft one-to-one offers that are tailored to each prospect on your lead list, you need to take it a step further. And that's why we end up using a tool such as clay.com. And so just to show you, Claude did give the Spintaxed emails. This is great. If you have a targeted list, you're good to go. Plug this in and I guarantee you'll have great results. However, if you need to take this a step further, this is where we're plugging in clay.com to actually make this personalized at scale, and craft one-to-one offers to every prospect on our lead list. And so now I'm going to get rid of this screen on the left here, and we're going to jump into Clay itself. Now, Clay, for those of you that don't know the tool, it's an incredible tool that allows you to integrate multiple APIs, list building softwares, and essentially run end-to-end campaigns. And it's really just a cold email or outbound marketing meta for doing anything you want, managing campaigns from A to Z, sourcing data, personalizing your scripts, enriching your data, whatever you want to do with it, Clay is your go-to. And so what we did here is this is going to be for a client of ours who runs event production services. They basically help organizations that have high performing sales teams have really stellar annual executive sales retreats or sales incentive programs. And as you could imagine, every organization like Salesforce or HubSpot, or maybe it might be like ZoomInfo, all these organizations are going to have different types of sales meetings based off of who they are and what they're trying to give to their highest performing sales reps. So what we have here is we have a finalized lead list. We've already gotten a full out lead list. We know who we're going to be targeting. Now we just want to make sure that our messages are crafted one-to-one and speaking to each of these individual prospects or sales leaders at these organizations, to craft a one-to-one message that speaks to them and who they are as an organization or culture. So that way it just looks like we did our research and the message is that much more compelling. So it's very similar to what we did before, but we've got our lead list here. We've already validated and enriched the email addresses. We've got a list of valid emails. Now it's just a matter of plugging them into a campaign. And what we could see here is we have Perplexity AI, and we're using Perplexity AI to actually do step one of what I just showed you, but now we're doing it and we're researching each prospect that we're reaching out to. We're doing deep research on their company at a company level, and we're figuring out for this specific case, what events do they have? What sales retreats do they have? Give us all the information about this company and why they should be looking to have maybe look at alternatives for having a sales incentive meeting. And so Perplexity is basically figuring out all of the different sales events that they have, where they were previously held at, the good, the bad, the highlights from it. And it's basically just giving us a nice, neat company overview, which is then put out over here. And then we're plugging in Claude to clay.com using our API keys. And then we're plugging in similar prompts that I had just shown you on the screen. Only now, instead of just using a generic company overview, we're actually using the research that Perplexity just did on each individual company. We're feeding it to our Clay prompt, and we're saying, hey, Clay, based off of this research that I just did off of this company, can you now go and come up with a very compelling script using what you know about my company's offer and what we've done for previous companies? Can you craft a one-to-one email that speaks to each and every person on this lead list? And that's essentially what we do. We do it at scale. We've got a list here, 574 prospects. Claude is then writing the personalized email. And what that personalized email, I'll just show you some examples here. The output, that's email number 2 is the follow-up. But if we click on it, congrats on your $15.2 million Series A and brand relaunch. Flakeed, with your expansion across the GCC, how are you planning to showcase your corporate travel expertise to new enterprise clients? What if your next investor or client event actually demonstrated your capabilities firsthand? We help growth stage companies create high-impact events that showcase expertise while building relationships. Open to exploring how strategic events could accelerate your post-funding momentum. And then if we were to, go on to the next one, notice Druid's AI impressive lineup, particularly your upcoming agentic marketplace launch. So we're calling out the specific events that we know they have. And the thing is, it's going to go out and it's going to write personalized emails to each and every company that you're reaching out to based off of the company that they are and the prospect that you're reaching out to. And you could do this for their first email. You could do it for your second email, the follow-up, to add more context. And then you could go as far as to pushing it into your actual campaign. So once you've got a formula down like this and you have a recipe that works, obviously it's going to change, and what prompts you're going to feed it are going to change based off of what offer you're presenting. But this allows you to do it at scale, and this allows you to replace 10 research analysts literally, and do all the work for you in a matter of minutes. So it's been working really effectively. And again, this is just me throwing a random offer on the fly and showing you through Claude, and then comparing that to like another actual client of ours like research. But as you could tell, this is very scalable. It's something you could tweak, iterate, and really make it effective. And that's why we love using it so much. And that's all from me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I want you to know that writing cold emails is just one aspect of the whole cold email process. If you want to learn how to actually have the cold email infrastructure in place so that you could scrape and verify and physically send out all of these cold emails at scale, then stick around for this next video. If not, and you'd rather just exclusively focus on closing deals for your business, then book a call by checking out the link in the description below. We'll have a conversation and see if we could help out. Outside of that, I'll see you next time, guys.